My name is Liz Delgado. I'm a precinct chair with the Bear Democratic Party. What I love about Progress Texas is that whenever I'm feeling like everything is hopeless and that there's too much to do and too much to know in the world, Progress Texas breaks it down for me in 10 minutes or less. Every single day I can come to them and get a little motivation knowing that people like Progress Texas are out there fighting the good fight alongside all the rest of us.
It's Tuesday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, 2026, and this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch, rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. Here at Progress Texas, we have built a statewide audience, and we reach millions of Texans monthly, and that's thanks to folks like you who invest in an independent, progressive media by Texans for Texans. Our thanks to Heather Hernandez-Yenchod, Lucy Frost, and Joey Russo-Cate for their ongoing sustaining support. The greatest threat to American voting rights maybe ever, the Save America Act, is now central to the struggle for the vote of one guy, Donald Trump. But that struggle may be about to become a moot point, says James Osborne at the Houston Chronicle. For you see, kids, Donald Trump has until 5 p.m. today to convince either Senator John Cornyn or Attorney General Ken Paxton to withdraw from their May 26th runoff. That's the deadline for either to file with the Texas Secretary of State's office in time to prevent their name from being on the ballot, whether they drop out or not. Polls show a close race, some with Paxton enjoying a significant edge, and one poll significant enough to render a Trump endorsement of Cornyn itself useless to our senior senator, who made the internet rounds yesterday, bringing a couple of boxes of likely cold hamburgers to TSA security personnel at Austin Bergstrom International Airport, while Democratic Austin Congressman Greg Casar showed up to chew on his collar. Those long airport security lines, by the way, are due to a partial government shutdown caused by a partisan impasse over three major issues. One, the aforementioned Save America Act, which congressional Democrats oppose because it would risk voting disenfranchisement for millions of Americans, most of them non-white, lower income, or female. Two, those same Democrats oppose kicking another $100 billion into Donald Trump's ill-advised, ill-conceived war on Iran, which he himself is now expressing second thoughts about. And three, congressional Democrats are demanding major changes to the way immigration enforcement is being carried out in this country, namely getting rid of the masks and the soldier suits and requiring body cameras and identification for individual ICE agents and more. All those are great ideas, you ask me, and if I were a federal airport security employee right now, charged with keeping millions of travelers safe in the sky while not being paid, and a fat cat U.S. senator tried to hand me a cold Whataburger Jr. to make me feel better about it, I'd let him keep it, and I might even stuff it in his briefcase for him. The trouble down in Corpus is very, very real, y'all, and as we've said, it's a kind of trouble that awaits all of us across Texas. Dylan Bedour at Inside Climate News says it's worse than has been previously reported. The city is now staring at actual water shortages within weeks, as contract terms dictate a 10% cut to the city's draw from Lake Texano once that supply falls below 50% full, which is apparently imminent. A 10% cut is about 7 million gallons per day, and regional administrators are now warning that without significant rainfall, the city's draw could be slashed by 14 million gallons daily by May. Again, all of this ahead of the Texas Democratic Party convention, which is scheduled to be held in Corpus Christi in June. Governor Greg Abbott has threatened a state takeover, whatever the hell that means, and local council members are now moving to impeach Mayor Paulette Guajardo over the Corpus Christi water mess. City officials are now racing to revive a canceled seawater desalination project and to develop emergency wells to prevent total depletion. Wrap your head around that. At current consumption and rainfall rates, Corpus Christi, Texas, population 317,000, is projected to completely run out of water, bone dry, by 2027. As we've said, when there's no water, there's no Texas, not only for drinking, but the economy itself down on the coast is threatened. Top of that list, of course, the region's massive and very, very thirsty refining and petrochemical sectors that require constant water flow to operate and would be facing a shutdown of the kind this industry has very little experience with. You might be shocked to learn, or maybe not, that Corpus Christi residents, the townsfolk as it were, are now having to fight for policy changes to force large corporate users to face the same water use restrictions as public users do. Everybody watch this closely because this problem is not going to stay limited to the coast. Speaking of conventions, the county level Democratic conventions are happening this weekend all across Texas. Digital associate Haley Smith and myself are heading for the Harris County Democratic Convention at the University of Houston, while our executive director Kathleen Thompson and advocacy and development coordinator Tatum Owens are heading for Collin County's gathering at the Sheraton McKinney. Michelle Davis at Lone Star Left considers the county level gatherings, quote, the most important political event you're probably ignoring, unquote, and she's right. Every 2 years, the Texas Democratic Party gathers at these events to refine its rules and platform as grassroots members submit resolutions and platform planks that will eventually become the party's mission statement, signaling to candidates and officials exactly what the Texas Democratic Party's base prioritizes. There's a lot to discuss, of course. Central to the theme set during the primary, especially in the Senate race, a dilemma of sorts between up versus down economic populism and traditional coalition politics centered on racial justice. Focusing on economics seems to many as the smart play, since living costs and affordability literally impact us all, but concerns are rightly raised about a platform based on class disparities, failing to address issues related to systemic racism. Davis writes that while the Texas Democratic platform is already among the most progressive in the country, the upcoming conventions will provide an opportunity to ensure that the platform doesn't fail to reflect the urgency of the issues facing all of our marginalized communities. Attendance by the public is free, though you will need to RSVP. There's a link to do that and to submit a resolution if you like in the show notes this morning. Progress Texas is in fact proud to be the official media partner of the Harris County Democratic Convention. We'll be set up in the vendor area all day long on Saturday the 21st. Come find us, say hi, grab some merch, and be part of our day-long recording project for the podcast in Houston. And again, Kathleen and Tatum will be similarly set up at the Collin County Democratic Party Convention in McKinney. Full details again at the website. Progress Texas is expanding our top-rated podcast network to include Spanish-speaking media to increase the reach of our progressive messages daily. Hit the link in the show notes to make your donation towards Spanish media today. And as always, our web store is live and ready for you right now to grab some newly released Humans Against Abbott, Y'all Means All, and Rovolution shirts, stickers, and buttons. Hit the web store at progresstexas.org to support your favorite podcast network today. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch for this Tuesday, March 17, 2026. Links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Our mission at Progress Texas is to improve and save Texans' lives by acting on our shared, bold, progressive values. And that starts with countering the billionaire and corporate-funded conservative disinformation machine. Progress Texas is an independent, nonprofit, rapid response media organization. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media and action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. Enjoy St. Patrick's Day safely, of course, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning.